Oops. How does it look? The lighting. Have you lit well, Gary? I probably can't see enough of me over here up in the back. I might have to come this way, Gary, and I have to raise that camera a little, maybe.
You want me to sit in this chair?
No, just put your chair over that way.
Well, your phone is vertical, but the window is horizontal. So I don't know. I don't know what that's about.
Ooh, I like it, Gary. We got the calligraphy. I think it's time for you to get off your phone there, Gary.
Yeah, I was
Talk
gonna.
to the people.
I was gonna log into Zoom, but I don't have it on this phone.
I don't think you need to.
It would just be one way of checking the sound.
I got you. Well, we got 2 ways to go. We're recording 2 ways. I don't think anybody watches these videos anyway. I've seen no evidence. That probably somebody has. But this is going to be really hard to get to because it's going to be so damn long. We're not going to be able to get it on the website or the YouTube channel. Well, Zoom and Drive fans we'll never get this on Facebook.
Not on Facebook, but didn't YouTube take off their limits on uploads?
Maybe, I don't know. I've never tried it.
I believe they did.
Well, this could be YouTube's. Me and Gary are going to do this fabulous Alexander lesson in which revealed all the secrets of the universe. Could happen. Could happen. I was going to do a real far out thing. Dra-la. Dra-la, dra-la, dra-la. You people out there, when you get an Alexander lesson, you think your Alexander teacher is doing some stuff to you, but who's zooming who? That's my question. Who's zooming who? It's really you that's... You gotta become the master of your fate with Alexander, and I don't know. It'll just dawn on you one day like a coconut dropped on your head and said, oh shit, I can do this myself. I don't need the Alexander teacher. He's just somebody to really show me a few things and then see if I got what it takes. The curiosity, the daring, the desire to know myself and others. What does that feel like, Jerry?
Relaxing.
Feel like Alexander's teaching you how to think?
I'm trying not to think.
FBM's idea of thinking might be your idea of not thinking. Did you ever think of that?
No.
When he says, I want to teach you how to think, well, he's talking about a whole different ballgame. He calls it inhibition. It's like, we're going to talk about it as drala, but it's inhibition. Alexander. For us Shambhala warriors, it might be cool to talk about it as drala. Above aggression. Above conflict. Above duality. Above self and object. As Trumper Rinpoche might say, what did he say? He said, no meditation, no meditator, no object of meditation, no reference point. What do you say to that, Gary?
Well, as somebody who's been conditioned for 74 years, it's hard to have no reference point. But I know what he's talking about.
I'm going to turn down the fan so we can hear Gary clearly. No ambient noise. The clutter. The Gariness.
The suchness of Gary.
Oh. Sometimes Gary speaks very softly, but Gary's a big stick. Gary's a nice stick. So I don't know, if you just think right, and you inhibit, or if you just think above aggression, if you just think my head goes toward ease, if you just think there's such a thing as the heavenly realms and the great beings of the past who would like to help us, who would like to pour down their care, their tender care, their understanding of gentleness. That's what Alexander wants to teach you, man. That's what he means when he says, I want to teach you how to link. He wants to teach you the profundity of gentleness, the profundity of mindfulness, and a letting go that allows you to go toward ease. And it's just like, I've talked to you all a little bit lately about how Earth, if you just find this structure, that Earth just like rises to support you. Well, like, it's doubly true of heaven. It is doubly true of heaven. If you reach out to heaven and you do it in this gentle way, and you allow this above aggression, this kind of upliftedness, cheerfulness, lightness, non-stuckness, there is no problem. How could there be a problem? When the Buddha sits in front of you and he holds up a flower and he smiles. That's it. That's it. That is it. And you can't smile. The Buddha can't smile like that without him knowing heaven. He's smiling because he knows heaven. He knows heaven. He knows what heaven is. He knows what support there is for the Buddha in heaven. He's got buddies. He's got helpers. Everybody up there. Everybody out there. So that's your flaw, man. Your head going toward ease, your neck not being tight. That's like the battle is won when your neck is soft. Comfort just say a soft, cuttable neck. Your neck is so soft it can be cut. So soft. Wouldn't just be nothing to cut through it. And that's kind of it. That's it. That's what that sharpness is all about. You produce that soft, cuttable neck, and then you're like playing with sharp things like prajna. But first, you're just you are married to heaven. You're married to gentleness. You're married to mindfulness. You're married to I can't afford to be in a hurry. You're married to Trump Rinpoche and the way he used himself, how you use yourself. Usually the first thing we do is just crush anything like what this is. True or false, Gary? Is that a true statement or a false statement? You tell us. What do you think about that?
Most people are in a defensive posture towards life itself. They don't trust it. They've had experiences in their life that they freeze in their memory and they refer back to them. It's a reference point. So to let all of that go is to let go of those reference points. And then the subtle letting go is to let go of one of the key reference points, which is the body. We've been in this body for so many years. It becomes a reference point. Everything in samsara, everything in life is a reference point. It helps define us. I'm like that, I'm not like that. I like this, I don't like that. All of those are reference points.
No reference point, it says. That's what it says.
So you're sort of free floating. And some people can tolerate that and other people cannot.
A lot of people run for the hills at this point. A lot of people you're bored to tears. You know, that's not really, it's not quite it. They are afraid of the taste. There's a taste to this. And a lot of people afraid of that taste, or they just know instinctively that my ego is going to crash and burn in that territory. I can't go there and keep my ego. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. They run for the hills. It's too personal. It's way too personal for a lot of people. I can't get in this kind of work, you know. It's too much. It affects them too much where they live. You know, ordinarily it's good to move, you know, I don't know.
I love stillness, though. I agree with you, but I love stillness.
Alexander's, you know, usually move, but we don't move very much, right?
No,
We just move a little bit.
Sometimes it's subtle just to find the balance point.
You know, in Alexander, we don't move very much. But we do move, I mean, we just...
Well, we're always moving, even when we're still. We're still moving.
That's the truth. But here we're just going to move our head very slowly. Something we would never do in life. I don't think very often. It'd be a strange thing if we were to move this slowly, ordinarily. But Alexander, we train this way because you can really experience some of these things. You can do them at full speed, but a lot of times you're going to miss something. But if you practice a lot at this speed, then at full speed you can you got a chance of freedom there too. But everything's good in Alexander, whatever you do, whatever speed you go at. You don't always go slow like this. But usually in the beginning when we're just learning these tools, a lot of the slow stuff is advisable. Although a lot of people don't, this is kind of old-fashioned for a lot of the newer teachers that keep you going at a steady speed. And I'm not against that, it's very powerful to do this and be totally normal about your life and doing this. There's a lot to be said for that. I don't have any problem with that. I just got a lot out of this slow stuff and I can't help the one that's showing to people. What was that like for you, Gary?
Yeah, I sometimes think of it as improving focus. If you're doing these micro movements, it gives you an opportunity to perceive in a different way than if you're just doing, fast, energetic stuff. A lot of perception is skipped over in a fast move. And a slow move gives you at least the opportunity to perceive at a different level.
Kind of get a possibility of letting go and a possibility of seeing how you're not letting go, both of which are incredibly valuable. And just to realize that's it. Wow, I was really holding on, that's it. Or wow, I really let go, that's it. And not even to choose between the two, both of them are so interesting. So interesting. So I don't know, we get our head going in a nice way. And then you have these massive shoulders which are completely like a block of wood. What do you do with this? That's really delicate work in a way. Although you could do a bunch of Tai Chi and a lot of things you could do to move, but the main point, honestly, is to imagine, to think. Alexander's always having this conscious directing ourselves, using a thought. There's a beautiful saying that Alexander used to say, if you ask the body to do something gently, it will do it. It's so true. Here we might just ask our shoulders to come apart maybe about that much. Just ask our shoulders to go that way. Tiny little bit. What does that feel like, Gary?
Well, it's hard to actually describe the feeling. Lightness.
Another way to go.
Inner freedom. I mean, the outer body's not doing all that much, but inside, the perceptions are just like that.
Another way to go here is I sort of just move him that way, not very far. And then I ask him to think about his shoulder coming out toward this way. Just moving forward a little bit, not very far, not much force, more really we're both just thinking how nice this shoulder would be to slide out this way of its own doing somehow. Both just giving it some thought. I mean, I'm giving it a lot of thought to my shoulder coming out. Really, I can't make his shoulder come out. But I can maybe allow mine to come out. I might have some positive benefit here. That's really all I can do in a way. I can move it a little, but that's not doing all that much. But if I'm really thinking about my shoulder going boom, 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 that's what could help. And it's this little feedback. We sort of start, him coming out helps me. My coming out helps him. There's this virtuous feedback loop that can happen. That's really what we're looking for. Is we're both tuned into this virtuous cycle of letting you got your law and your heaven. We just think this heaven's the greatest thing since sliced bread, but then what do you do with that heaven? It has to connect to earth. In order to do any good for anybody, it has to connect to earth. So, there's a whole lot you can do down in here, but really what you can do is allow these shoulders to be massive. You really want to allow your shoulders to be like this. Not the peak of a mountain, but the sides of a mountain. Here's the peak, that's the law. But right in here, the shoulders start with this nyen, N-Y-E-N, nyen. It's really the strength of human beings. Strength of human beings is their good head and shoulders. Head is so important, but boy, you bring the shoulders in, and then you've really brought the whole. It's like the image is the king. The king's job is to just rest his mind in the nature of mind. And he probably have some good ideas come out of that, maybe. He has inspirations, he has visions, he has intuitions, he sees. We see through our good law, we see things. But then the nyen is like there's the king sitting up here. His job is to connect with law, let heaven pour down, let the blessings pour down. But then he has to have these, his retinue, his ministers, his queen. I'm going to say his elephants. I'm going to say his elephants too, man. His horses. His strength, his beauty, his splendor. But really, mainly, those are part of the treasures. Those are part of the treasures of the Chakravartin, the universal monarch. There's the horses and the elephants and all the others. But you got your ministers and your queen. Maybe some ladies in waiting in there. The ministers are not corrupted. They cannot be corrupted. They cannot turn into traitors. They cannot. They can be trusted. And they don't get fooled. And they don't get tricked. There's forces outside the kingdom trying to trick you into making hasty moves or making moves that aren't really going to work. They're solid like a mountain, man. Nothing throws them. They make good decisions. They do not make bad decisions. They do not give bad advice. They cannot give bad advice. It's impossible. That's what your nyen is. You just don't get tricked. You don't get caught up in speed or aggression. Speed or aggression, you have conquered with your nyen. You have your seat. A warrior has his seat. Warrior's seat has a lot to do with down here, a lot to do with down here. But a warrior's seat is also this nyen. There's a big part of warrior's seat. What do you say, Gary?
Well, I would rather not say too much because I'm just focusing on the inner sensations at this particular point. And talking interrupts that focus.
Well, you gotta talk because I gotta rest. This is a video. We can't just sit here and meditate.
You're doing all right.
We can't.
You're doing all right.
We can't just sit here and meditate. We'll have to turn the video off. You look like your Claude, Yin, and Lou are looking lined up. Do you feel kind of solid?
Yeah, I've got
you
a
feel
line.
solid?
I have a line going here.
Feel like your upper torso is large, side to side, and front to back.
Pretty much
And
so.
solid.
I've got a lot of tension in my shoulders, and that keeps, these two muscles on either side of the neck. That's what pulls my shoulders in.
Yeah.
So, relaxing those muscles is the only way to get the shoulders to move sort of a little bit back and a little bit out.
What if we did a little Qigong? We've sort of promised these people some Qigong.
We have.
I have.
There
I said,
There you go.
Qigong is so much like dancing with the Dakinis.
Sure. I will follow your lead.
Let's stand up for the people. Oh. All right, so we want our feet parallel, about shoulders width apart. We'll start with
Just standing, right?
number one, was posture number one, or stance number one, or number one, whatever they call it. I'm just going to demonstrate number two. I'm a little more sunk. My knees are going down, down, down. This is the main one. And maybe the first 6 months you do a bunch of number one, but you start doing number two. But the rest of your time, maybe 70% is number two. This is the main practice. This is kind of getting cranked up, getting started. You're not quite as sunk down in your knees, but you're sunk a little. You're sunk a little. You're sunk a little. You're sunk a little. Here, can you see how I'm really cranking it up? You see the difference? You're really You're more like a linebacker there. You're like you know some linebackers. You're a linebacker, and
Yeah, well, my knees aren't what they used to be. My body's not what it used to be.
now let's do number one. We're just gonna hang. We're not so, but we're sunk in our knees well enough. But it's not as much as the other. I don't know. I think, it talks about, Suzuki Roshi says when you're practicing walking meditation, you're doing this posture, you can put an egg underneath here. I don't think we could fit an egg underneath here, but it's like we psychologically just lift our arms, I don't know, maybe the weight of 5 quarters, not a lot, but you can fit something under here. Maybe not a whole egg, but you can fit the drawing of an egg under there. It's just a little uplift. There's a little uplift, just enough to wake you up a little bit and help you lengthen this. It's going to help you lengthen this. You just pick up your hands just a tiny bit. Just wakes you up, gets you in the posture, gets you in the proper posture. Otherwise, you might just have your normal slump going. But you can't do your normal slump this way. So, in Qigong, it's all about the breathing. I've done 12 videos on the breathing. Look at the videos on the breathing. But essentially, everything in meditation is a You know, shamatha and vipassana. I've talked about this endlessly. And we alternate shamatha and vipassana. The shamatha is a one-pointedness. Our mind, we place our mind on an object. Here we're placing our mind on our posture. And we start, I don't know, visualizing these circles. We visualize we got a circle over here. We visualize we're almost sitting on a circle. We visualize we are a big circle of energy, big ball of energy. All these balls of energy sort of helping us with our posture and our alignment and our lungta. We haven't really talked about lungta. Lungta. It's a wind horse. Described as wind horse. Wind horse. You got a horse over here that's never been trained, and he's just wild, and he can't help anybody. But you got a horse over here that's trained. He's just like this athlete. That's what we want to be. We want to train our body and mind to just be like an athlete and have all this potential of energy. Energy comes up the back and down the front. It goes with the breath. We just like to be a part of that by how we allow our breath, how we allow ourselves to let go on the out breath, to dissolve out on the out breath. And breath just happens naturally. We don't worry about it too much, but we try not to recreate egotism and all its many glories as we breathe in. We just kind of boycott any projects whatsoever of any kind. Just be a nothingness or a not doing. But you really are not doing on the out breath. When you really let go, that's a not doing. It's a little different kind of not doing. It's almost like you're doing something, but you're not owning it. You're not taking credit from you, and you're not using it to build up your ego particularly. So it's relaxation a lot. It's our lower body. I don't think it's necessarily all relaxation. We get sort of, we're not tense. My legs are not tense, but I'm ready. I can kick you, start messing with me. I'm ready. You're ready. You're ready. And you sort of you just get lined up somehow. You want your feet a little straighter, a little more parallel, a little more parallel. Yeah. Somehow, I don't know, I can't explain it to you, but if you just sit here long enough, stand here long enough, certain things get changed that don't work perfectly for you. You just begin to let go of some tension you had that you didn't need. Things sink in a certain way, and find their way, and all of a sudden you just get lined up. I don't know how it happens. Maybe it might take a long time. It took me 30, 40 years, I don't know. Slowly, just kind of working at all this stuff. I was working at everything. Tai Chi, Qigong, Judo, meditation, breathing, letting go, relaxing, discriminating awareness. Lungta. This is all a Lungta project. Wind horse. I'm gaining tremendous ability and gaining tremendous openness and not being fixed, not being free. Free. Same time stable. That's your wind horse. Your wind horse has a lot of energy, a lot of freedom, it's kind of a wild thing. You're not in control of it. You don't know what's going to happen, man. But you're kind of ready. You're ready. Something happens, you're ready. Nothing happens, you're ready. You just stay ready. something's probably going to happen. Something's going to happen to knock you off your stance. Something's going to surprise you. Something's going to shock you. And you need to be ready. So your mind, you're not thrown. A lot of times that's when we make kind of bad mistakes that take us down the wrong way in our career, or our love life, or our friendships, or our sports, or you name it. It's just things hit us and we're a little off, and then go out. And then we just kind of go that way, But with Linta, it's different, man. We're always ready. If something does throw you, it's kind of glory. It's kind of your learning. Things do throw you, and you begin to regard those things as really good news, and you really learned a lot. That guy knocked me on my ass, but boy did I learn. I got right up. Just learned what is going on here. What is going on here? What is going on here? It's like you cannot control this wild horse of mind, but you can train it. You can find this warrior seat down here, and you can find this energy that you let loose, and a lot of you just let it loose and you learn to ride it. It's going to eat your lunch a little bit. You're just going to take your ego and just rattle it to nothing. But that's what you want in a way. That's what you want, really. Just shred your ideas about who the hell you are and find out who you are. So things just, in Qigong, things just come unglued, man. You cannot keep going that way. It's painful. It's just one painful thing after another. Just one painful thing that you have to let go after another. But if you think this is, if you get a taste for this, the whole thing is to gain a taste for one taste. If you can gain a taste for one taste, that's it. One taste means everything's like that. Everything means you're losing your shit. Your ego's flying out the window. You don't have a clue, and yet you're ready. That's what you want to be. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to be a part of. What the great ones have been a part of. You want to be a warrior. You want to be gentle. You want to be brave. You want to exert yourself. You don't want to just take a vacation and lie in the dirt. You want to be always on the job. That's all you want. And you got it with Qigong. You got it with Tai Chi Chuan. You got it with Alexander Timbers. You got it with Kyoto. You got it with so many things, Make you a warrior. All right, Gary. You finish him up. You take us home, Gary.
You're putting a lot on me.
You're the man, Gary. You're the man.
Well, it's true. You're not who you think you are. Because thoughts don't get to it. They obscure it. And for me, one taste is naked awareness. Naked awareness doesn't fight or reject anything. It doesn't have to. Naked awareness is indestructible. It's always there. It's just covered up by thinking. It's covered up by habitual behaviors, thoughts, feelings. So part of the process of letting go is letting go of those habitual thinking patterns, feeling patterns, behavior patterns. And it moves at the speed that you're able. If it's gradual, it's because of holding on, of grasping. The more you're able to let go, not hold on to things, not grasp at things, the faster it goes. You can't really blame anybody else for lack of progress. And you want progress. You want to perceive that something is developing. That something is taking you down this path of discovery, self-discovery. So I'd almost say that if you're stuck, you need to be stuck at that particular point. That's what your ego is saying. This is fast enough. I don't want to go any faster. I don't want to let go of this identity or that identity. I need that support of those identities. Why is that? There's a lot of fear involved. So facing those fears, that's to me is the warrior part. Is I feel this. I feel this anxiety. I feel this fear. But in that moment, I'm going to try to breathe. I am going to breathe. I'm going to let go. I'm going to trust. And I'm going to see if I can rest in naked awareness.
Can we tie it into resilience, do you think, Gary? What would you say about resilience at this point?
Well, it's like touching the source of your true nature, your true energy. And if you can relax, breathe, let go into that primal energetic state, it provides the energy that is expressed as resilience. But again, that's the way I think about it. It's important to experience these things directly. It's important to try these things for yourself. Not to take anybody's word for it. And in order to do that, you've got to pause. You've got to find some way of pausing that habitual stream of consciousness that's telling you, do this, do that, arrange this, that sort of thing. So I think that's what the practice part might be. You know, the practice for me these days is to provide a time and a space for letting go. Because in samsaric life, there's always something to be done. There's always something to think about. There's always some distraction. There's always some desire for diversion. That's okay. That happens most of the time during the day. But you need I'm not going to tell you what you need, but I need a moment during the day when I can pause all of that shit. Just pause it. And just come to the direct experience of awareness itself without that awareness glomming onto this, glomming onto that, searching out for this object, searching out for that object, trying to avoid that object. Just a moment. Even if that moment is just a minute. If I do a minute several times during the day, it gives me good results. It's like forming a new habit, but a good habit. A habit of not reacting. A habit of taking a pause. Even if it's just focusing on the breath for a minute or two. Even that.
Should we dedicate the merit, Gary?
Sure.
By this merit, may all attain omniscience, may it defeat the enemy wrongdoing, from the stormy waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death, from the ocean of samsara, may I free all beings. By the confidence of the golden sun of the great east, may the lotus garden of the Rigdon's wisdom bloom. May the dark ignorance of sentient beings be dispelled. May all beings enjoy profound or brilliant glory. Thank you very much.
We wish you well.
Who's zooming who?